For the first time here tonight, a new video that came out tonight, President Donald Trump is addressing yesterday's violent and deadly attack on the Capitol for the first time, denouncing the angry mob, but not taking any responsibility for the destruction that ensued.
Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders.
Called out the National Guard? Well, as we learned yesterday and is being reported today, people familiar with what happened say Trump actually pushed back on calling out the National Guard and that it was actually Vice President Mike Pence who ordered the National Guard to the Capitol. Here's ABC's Andrew Dembert. He's following the newest developments.
After Wednesday night's disgraceful display, President Trump finally responding, releasing a video on Twitter now condemning the same angry mob that was fueled by his own words.
To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
But it was swarms of angry, violent, Trump-supporting extremists who surged toward the seat of American democracy after hearing these very words from their leader.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol because you'll never take back our country with weakness.
And now, for the first time since losing the election to President-elect Joe Biden, President Trump himself finally acknowledging he lost.
My focus now turns to ensuring a smooth, orderly, and seamless transition of power.
Even with just a dozen days until Trump hands over control of the White House to Biden, Democrats in Congress are calling for Trump to go, urging Vice President Mike Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment and remove the president from office by vote of his cabinet, claiming he is mentally unfit for office.
And by inciting sedition, as he did yesterday, he must be removed from office. While it's only 13 days left, any day can be a horror show for America.
Otherwise, Democrats say Trump should be impeached for inciting the violence, putting the blame for the breach squarely on his shoulders. And now we are learning just how dangerous the situation was. 5 firearms were recovered, including a military-style assault rifle, 2 powerful and functioning pipe bombs, as well as 11 Molotov cocktails authorities say were, quote, ready to go. And there may be national security risks as well. Federal prosecutors saying today a trove of items stolen include potentially sensitive documents. Andrew Dembert, ABC News, Washington.
Louisville Congressman John Yarmouth, Democrat, and others have called for the 25th Amendment to remove the president, as you heard in our story. But how does the 25th Amendment really work? First, Vice President Pence and a majority of the 15-member cabinet would have to declare the president unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office. At that point, the president can react. If he refutes the assessment as expected, the cabinet and vice president would have to make their case to Congress. To remove the president and put Mike Pence in power, it would take a 2/3 majority in both the House and the Senate. And since Congress has 3 weeks to vote, it could be a moot issue, considering Donald Trump has only 13 days left in office from tonight.